Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. Dr. Ian Smith's new book, Plant Power, is helping those looking to become plant-based eating plan. And again, this isn't where you're just straight away and eating vegetables and plant stuff. You have an opportunity to slowly get there, right?
I think most of America realizes they should eat less meat, more plant-based foods, but they don't want to give up all of their meat and all of their seafood. That's where I am, okay? And so this program is for people who don't want to be full vegans or vegetarians, though if you are a vegan or vegetarian, there are plenty of options for every single meal. So this is about how do you drop your blood pressure without medications? How do you lower your cholesterol levels, your risk profile for some types of cancer and type 2 diabetes? Eating more plants will do that. You don't have to go fully vegan in order to get the benefits of plants.
Yeah, and the book actually takes you step by step. I'm telling about his own book. It takes you step by step. I know, he's here with it. I'm like, it's
good.
Because some people find it kind of hard to do that. I mean, preparing the food and different things. But I really like your kind of like your game plan, as you said, where you're pre-gaming before the big game, because that really helped me move into more of the recipes in the book.
I have 3 rules when it comes to my books. Number 1, they must be very accessible. I don't write for other doctors. I write for the lay public. Number 2, affordable. People have to be able to afford the foods and the meals in the book, and the recipes are great recipes in the book. They got to be able to afford them. And number 3, they have to be effective and productive. And so my programs, I always have a Facebook group. Before the book comes out, they do the program, and so I change things based on their results. So I know when I publish a book, it's going to work because people have said, you know, this works, this didn't work, and I changed things. And so that's why I encourage people to join our Facebook group, Plant Power. We got tens of thousands of people online who are doing this program, and they're doing well. By the way, also, Brad, you need to have some kind of community where you're supporting each other. Weight loss is not easy.
Yeah.
And making changes in nutritional habits, they're not easy, right?
No.
And so I always believe if you have a community to do it together, supportive, we have fun, we have contests, we have prizes, it makes a big difference.
It does. Let's talk about food now, because I was like, why are you bringing us paper plates? I mean, come on, you're more fancy than that, but you're like,
affordability.
No, this is the affordability one. But also, too, this is the portion size you should be looking at. You know, everyone has those big plates and stuff, and they fill them up, and that's the problem we have there, right?
Even if you're eating really healthy food, if you have too big of a portion, you're too many calories. And weight loss still comes down to calories, by the way. Calories in must be less than calories out. I just wanted to show you some very simple things that are in the book, and people see this and realize, I can eat this. This is not bad. So some salmon with some corn, creamy corn, and some Brussels sprouts, which I love, by the way. This is what I think most people, this is how they eat, okay? And the idea is, this is like week 1, right? The idea is we want to slowly work your way. We want to start adding more soups, okay? Less calories, high in phytonutrients or plant nutrients. Our salads, for example, we want to make sure that our salads, instead of using now chicken as the full or the main ingredient of the entree, we use it as an accent. So once again, not giving up the meat, but reducing the amount of meat we're consuming and adding more fruits and vegetables, and brown rice and broccoli and some chicken. The idea behind all of this is the I call it the doability of it. Right? You can look at this, you can afford it, you can do it, and you're not going to miss having the seafood and the meat.
Yeah. Also in the book, you talk about really watching what you are, how can I say, replacing with. So those who want to go the meatless foods and stuff like that, you said you got to turn around and look at the label, because even though that might sound great, it might be plant-based, there might be too much salt, too much sugar, all kinds of things in there.
So there are a lot of meat substitutes, right? And the cover of the book, people think this is a beef patty. It's not. It's a plant-based. But with all these new plant-based burgers or plant-based meats out there, you have to be careful. Make sure there's enough protein. Make sure it's low in sodium. Make sure that the right fats. You don't want saturated fats. You want unsaturated fats. And a lot of these companies, unfortunately, they take a really healthy concept and they make it unhealthy by adding too many preservatives and other ingredients. Sometimes, actually, a beef burger is healthier than some of these substitutes. So in the book, I teach you how to look at the back of the label very easily and realize what's good and not good for you.
Also, I like we got some of the plants out here, and of course the vegetables and the fruit and stuff, and people get scared seeing them whole like this. They get scared. So let's quickly talk about
let me tell you something. First of all, color is important. So the more color, the more antioxidants. Antioxidants are disease fighters. They fight these things called free radicals, which can cause disease. But for example, that eggplant doesn't look exactly appetizing like that, but on page 214 there's a spicy Thai veggie stir fry. You chop that bad boy up, some olive oil, some peppers, some tomatoes, some onions. It's delicious. But people have to understand, one way to become more plant-based, make sure you're shopping the perimeter of the store where a lot of these natural, non-processed foods live.
Yeah, and the one reason I really want to preach this is that I am type 2. I had a brother who was type 1 diabetes. And this is the time, because we're coming out of this pandemic where we saw more overweight people than before, and we talk about fighting COVID, fighting diseases. It comes into what you're eating.
Yeah, plants have shown, research upon research has shown that helping with type 2 diabetes, helping with heart disease, even stroke, that if you eat more plant-based foods, once again, not fully plant-based, but even more. So I'd like you to eat 70% plant-based, 30% animal-based. Yeah. And people will say, can I do that? You can do that because you realize you can have pasta and you can add some seafood or some chicken on top of that. So there's so many things that you can have and you don't realize that they're filling and the flavors are really great, but you got to cook it well.
Yes, and we also need to remind people, even though you're doing this kind of eating, exercise. That's also what you pretty much say in this book. It's not about what you eat, it's also about how you use that fuel.
If someone said to me you could only write one prescription for better health, it'd be regular exercise. Even though exercise and nutrition are a 1-2 combination, but exercise is so critical, not just from weight loss standpoint, for your heart, for your lungs, for your blood vessels, for your joints. It's critical. So 30 minutes, 4 days a week, moderate intensity is great.
I like it. All right. There you go. But we're not done with Dr. Ian, because I'm going to flip the plate on him, and when we come back later on with him, I'm going to have him cooking one of my favorite dishes that I came up because of him. I know I'm not Rachel Ray. I know that very well.
And neither am I, but I know her.
So, all right. Come on back. We got Dr. Ian Smith more with us after we have a few more things going on. So come on back.